Welcome back to my spiritual experience with your host, Brother Sadiq. Today, I want to talk about something that I think most of us are kind of aware of. We're in a changing environment that, we're about to have a new president. There are so many changes that are happening in America and globally. And because all roads lead to spirit, I think it's something we should share because what I'm finding is that there's a lot of people in my feed, on my news feed and etc., my social media, who seem to be kind of frightened and uncertain about what's going on, where we're going, what it's leading to. Of course, we all have no, ultimate understanding of what it's leading to. Like I study prophecy, so I have a general understanding that we're in a transformative time. I don't know the details of how it'll all play out, but ultimately we win, right? The good, the light, righteousness, right? You know, that's the ultimate end of the story, right? So, what I want to talk about is us being in God's time, right? Us relinquishing our attempted control over our situations, right? That's where a lot of the stress and anxiety is coming in because we're not accepting that we're in a transformative time, and in transformate, and in the transformation we may need to transform our individual scenario, our individual lifestyle, ourselves, things internal that we do, who we have been. Sometimes we deny to recognize that parts of our own, perception about reality is what's hindering our development and our growth. And so from time to time, you need to take stock and check yourself and see where you are and what you're doing, and is it getting what you want. And in this time, I think it is an extreme priority because if all of these transformations are taking place as we see, I mean, from UFOs and drones to, like I said, we're about to have a new president, all of the social upheaval and disorder. We are having fires on one end of the nation and freezing on the other side of the nation. Yeah, so right now we're in the middle of fire and ice, and we need to be very critical in how we're moving, how we're thinking, what we're perceiving, and what we're putting out into this atmosphere based on our beliefs of what is happening. Right. So understand, and I understand and believe that we're in God's time. We're in God's time, and that He's transforming this world from a place where everything was about competition and dog eat dog and survival of the fittest, into a time of cooperation, us understanding that all of us are part of, us all reaching our highest aspect of expression is a benefit to everyone on the planet, right? Not only our family, our friends, and our local community, but ultimately to the atmosphere of the planet in itself, right? And so, with all of these transformative things happening, and most of us don't like transformation, most of us don't like change. And with so many avenues and aspects of society and life changing at one time, there is no wonder, so many people are overwhelmed. It can be a daunting experience to actually take in consciously all of these things that are going on in the world. And so some of us attempt to, and when we do, it can be, like I said, a daunting task. And it can be something you have to alchemize into your being and understand how you're supposed to be dealing with it. And so I'm addressing this today because I think, this thing that I'm talking about, and the states of confusion and the unsettled internal selves, I think it's a general feeling. Something I'm seeing on the feed of my, social media platforms and whatnot. And so I felt like it's something I needed to address. And with it being God's time, that means you have no more room to play small. You don't have room to uh, put on facades. So in God's time, all truth should come to light. all reality, all ultimately, all of the truth has to come to light so that we can make a true determination on how we want to move, where we want to go, who we're going to be in relation to these things. And so, in a personal sense, I'd say remove all of your veils, all of your masks, all of the things that you've used to protect yourself from this world. Because what that means, if you've been molding and living and processing your own life's path off of the outside, the outward environment, right? You've only made yourself this way because you've lived in a world that has been like this, right? You know, so like they say, is it nurture or nature? Is it the environment or is it the upbringing? And all of these kind of things, right? So all of these are factors. But what you have to navigate is, what is your ultimate reason for being here? What is your truest self? What is your deepest love? What is your highest passion? And if you're not willing to go towards it and forward into all of that level of living and expression, then you're going to somehow still be connected to this matrix. The matrix is falling apart. The matrix is, coming apart at the seams at a rapid rate. And so that's all of the change that we're seeing. We're seeing the change come about in our time, in our lifetime. All of us are here with energy, intentions, and ideas that are possibly effectively tools to change this world into that which is to come. Now, what is it that you would like to see the world to be? What type of world would you like to live in? Right? These are ideas and ideals that you have to be able to express, whether they be through word, through writing, through art, through music, through whatever it is that you feel you express yourself best through. And if you don't do that, if you still allow your friends, your family, the concerns and the details of the matrix to hinder who you are and to limit who you want to be and to limit who you think you should be, who you could be, and what you want to give to this world, then that is no one's fault but your own. You are here and you have the full ability to express yourself to your highest capable possible, form of expression. And that comes, in my opinion, with prayer. Some of us don't even know the things that we have to remove from our programming, our past, our history, our upbringing, that may still be hindering how we see the world today, right? I've gone to therapy, right? So I'm saying this because in therapy, you kind of discover some things about yourself that you may, just because life is so fast paced and the matrix is so, all consuming, that generally you may not have time to analyze your life. You may not have time to look at why you made that decision. Though we find many of our decisions not something we're always comfortable with. If we're honest with ourselves, if we look at our entire life, we have some decisions that we're not happy with. Unless you're delusional or you're in denial, and you're a perfect being and you've moved flawlessly through your entire life, okay? There are things that, yeah, we can analyze that will give us direction and understanding about what the base insight or concept or perception I was holding when I made that decision. And I think it's important that we do that because we're living in God's time. And in God's time, we have to eliminate all of these barriers, all of these associations to this matrix, and all of our fears. Because in this time, the people who are here, all of us who are alive now, right? Okay, not NPCs, we won't worry about them, but all of you who are real people, who have real souls and spirits, who have a divine nature at source, that actual divine nature, that influence, that intention, that power of life that is your life, that light inside of you, that spark, that charge that pushes you towards being righteous over wrong, being good over bad, being, God over devil, however, right? That is the source, and that is the community, and these are the people, and you are the ones I'm talking to and about, right? You are here for a reason. Your purpose is bigger than your community and your friends, generally speaking. But if you don't implement and if you don't take into yourself the depth of strength necessary through prayer, through fortification and meditation, and seeing yourself as king this or as queen this or as that life changer or that world changer or that influencer or that factor in the world that brings about a different kind of experience for not just yourself but your community and maybe even the world. I'm talking to those souls. You have that in you, and if you don't utilize it and bring it out and push it forward, then that is going to be to your detriment and to the detriment of those in your family and to the detriment of the masses in general. They call them the leavening in the bread. They call them the salt of the earth. Talking about good-hearted people in communities that are staples, that without that person, that community would be a different place. Whether you want to accept and acknowledge your influence, your power, and your effect in that community, it's time to stop playing small. Recognize that you are that and that you need to activate what is your highest perception for that community. What is your highest vision for yourself in that community? And I ain't talking about ego based. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about things that are seeing everyone bloom, things that you have in you that is about growth and development, maybe for the children, for the youth, for the elderly, for families. You have things in you that you must bring out now. This is your time. If you do not step out, then you may lose the opportunity to gain the power that will make you king this, queen that, influencer this. You see what I mean? You cannot hold the thing for too long without it starting to lose its power. You cannot. It's just like working out. If you don't work out, you atrophy. You lose muscle. You lose the things that you've gained. You lose your gains if you don't utilize it. Use it or lose it. You have gifts. You have talents. You have insights. You have inspiration. You have a level of love and consciousness that some others don't. And if you don't act on it, push it forward, get it up out of you, give it to the world, ask God to charge it, ask universe to charge it, great spirit, mother God, father God, whatever you want to call it, charge it up. You put it in me. You gave it to me. You inspired it. You are the source of my life. Help me to eliminate all of the distractions of the matrix. Help me to eliminate all of the downloads and the concepts and the programs that limit my own perspective of my own ability. Right? We have a limited perspective of who we are. We play small because you were told you were a born sinner. You were told you ain't gonna be shit. Your daddy wasn't shit. You were told you ain't shit. Your mama wasn't shit. You were told all of these things that had an effect on your perception of yourself. And that is the most important perception to overcome and to conquer, the perception of yourself. That is the one that gets you to where you need to be. I could say I'm Sadiqullah. I could say I am the righteous soul that God put here to do a thing. I could say that I am the honorable one of Allah. I could say that I'm the compassionate king. I could say all of these things, but they're just words out into the space if I don't believe them in my own heart. So are you Neo? You need to prove it. You need to become it. You need to express it. You need to start to show it. And so if you have it in you, stop playing small. Stop allowing your friends, your family, and the outside perceptions of who you are, who you should be, limit what the fuck you gonna do. Okay? If you don't start expressing yourself to your fullest, if you don't start sharing what you have for this world, if you don't start moving in the full power of who you were created to be versus who the matrix has distorted you into believing you are, that will be to your own detriment. There are those in the bigger environment. There are those in the social engineering of our own world, our perception of ourselves. Those who told us the bullshit foundational things that twisted and fucked up our perception of what even reality is. Right? There are those, they'll get their penalty, but you will also get your penalty for recognizing that the truth ain't what you dealing with on the everyday. And you know that it's not. You are not, and I ain't talking about just being a lying person, but I'm talking about living in the world, seeing how it really moves, and understanding there is more to it. There is something under here. There is a layer deeper. And if I don't go into that, if I play like everybody else and act like I'm everybody else, and don't go into the depths of these things that I feel, that I know, that I'm supposed to be a part of and expressing and unifying with and working with and trying to understand. See, because we are here to eliminate, like you said, it's not when a sculptor does not pile stuff on, he chips away, right? And under there is the perfected being that is you. So what we have to do in this realm as souls is to chip away the bullshit that your mama said, that your daddy said, your sister said, your girlfriend said, your boyfriend said, your teacher said, your society said, slavery said, whatever bullshit you got in your mind that tells you you're this versus this, right? That you are part of the light of the sun, that you are part of the existence and the power of life itself, that you are life. And what is life? Are you living or are you just existing? So I'm talking to the souls who know that there is more to it and more to them. And if you choose to stay small, if you choose to allow fear to be your governor, right? If you allow fear, doubt, and all of these negative possibilities to guide, maneuver, influence your perception of self, that is to your own detriment. Go into the depths of yourself, into the depths of your studies, and understand that you are directly connected to the Most High Source. He, she, female, God, source, whatever you want to call it, life, grace, spirit. And that when you cleanse away all of the bullshit of the matrix, all of your fears, all of these small perceptions of yourself in reality, you will be effectively expressing the highest part of yourself. And when you do that, you cannot do anything but bring in your highest expression in life, right? So that's what we're here to do. We're here to bring in our highest expression in life. And that means the money to be able to express. That means the breadth of distance that you can express. That means the effectiveness in interaction, right? That means all of your forms of interconnected reality on this plane, whether it be somebody walking by you down the street or you having a deep, intimate conversation with somebody. You have and you do affect those people. The way that you affect them to the highest is to remove all bullshit, live at your most authentic self as a soul, express from that level, remove the fears of, oh, they're going to judge me, they're going to judge me. Just be who you are. Just be who you are. They're going to judge you anyway. Win or lose. Oh, he didn't attain because he was always worried about what other people thought. That's a judgment. Oh, he don't give a fuck what nobody think. He an asshole. That's a judgment. So whatever it is, there's going to be a judgment. If you keep allowing these judgments to slow your progress, your growth, your development, your movements towards these things that God put in you. See, because the thing is, the things that God put in you, when you master them and bring them to the world, they are parts of what is going to be interconnected to bring forth a kingdom of heaven, a world what is it? Heaven on earth, right? All of that is interrelated. But if you allow fear to be a part of that, then that expression is not heavenly, right? So you won't be expressing that. So that's the thing. You have to eliminate the fears. You have to eliminate the labels. You have to eliminate these ideas that they told you you are, your limitations. There is no limit on the human soul. All things are possible. All y'all know all of these things. Come on, man. And if we don't start acting like we know, I'm talking about act in accord with what we know, then don't expect a change. But the change is happening, and it's going to happen to you if you don't make it happen for you or through you by enacting and utilizing the highest aspects of yourself, your influence, your attention, intention, and how you express yourself into this world. If you don't utilize them, then okay, that's up to you. But that's what this is about. We're in God's time. And God put you here as a soul. He put you here as a soul to express yourself to its fullest ability. He put you here to reach your highest potential. And in this time, which is his time, if you choose to allow fear of other things to guide your presence, your reality, your movements, then that's your fault. And it's going to be to your detriment. Because you believe all these things that you fear, what people believe, what the police gonna do, what the government gonna do, what everybody gonna do, what they gonna have. All of these things have more power than the creator in your eyes if you don't pull out your heart and lay it on the table. Yeah, okay, who gonna protect you, God? Who gonna make sure it's right, God? Yeah, it's gonna be some hard shit. You're gonna get some shit. You're gonna deal with some things, but it only make you tougher. It only make you stronger. It only give you an experience that those who scared to put their shit out there will never have. They can never become. They can never attain to, and they will never stand on the other side of that shit that they scared of doing. You need to lay your heart on the table and let the creator deal with it correctly in this universe, and we gonna math out where we're supposed to be. Quit worrying about how this gonna happen, how that's gonna happen. We don't know. We don't know. We see it all changing. Do you want to be a part of the change in an effective way, or do you want to just be a fucking leaf in the wind getting thrown around as the change happens? So, you know who I'm talking to. The 9 NPCs, get your ass up, get in gear with your spiritual heights. Ask for clarity about your path, where you are, where you came from, where you're going. Lean not on your own judgment and ask God for guidance, because you have things that you need that you don't even know you need. So you can't even remember to ask for it in prayer. You don't know that you need it. If you knew you needed it, you probably already be having it, but you don't even know you need it because you're leaning on your own perspective. God's perspective is way bigger. It's called omnipresence, omnipotent. You see what I'm saying? He can see everything. So you got to ask sometimes for that direction. And if you don't do it and you keep letting these fears and this weak shit stand in your way, that's going to be your fault. I'm saying it with a little force because y'all my teammates, whether you recognize it or not. We all one. We have a job to be doing right now. I am working through my own levels of processing what I'm talking about. But I'm telling you, if you don't do your part, it's going to be to your detriment. But ultimately, you know, whether you work it out or not, like you said, all things work, you know, for the good of the God and the hope most high and towards the things that will work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to go through that. But you have a responsibility to yourself, to your community, to your people, and to the creator who put you here. You wouldn't have that energy. You wouldn't have that wisdom. You wouldn't have that knowledge. You wouldn't have that insight if you weren't the one who's supposed to do it. They don't believe you because that ain't for them. They're not the one supposed to do it. They ain't hearing you. They ain't trusting you. They ain't supporting you because they're not the one he's using to do it. Accept yourself as a tool. Remove the fears. Allow yourself to be used as a vessel and let him bring through that light that he got for this world, regardless of what the world may think. The transformation is coming, and you can be a part of it, or you can sit on the sideline, scared, shaking, wondering where it's all going to settle down. So, hope that wasn't too heavy, but it was necessary. So one love, fam. I hope you all reach your heights. I hope you all reach the heights of your imagination for this world and for yourself and your effect in it, and that all of the love and the light and the prosperity and the bounty and the beauty of this world be what expresses itself in your environment, through you, all around you, in you, above you. You know, I wish for heaven on earth for us. And I believe heaven on earth is all of us expressing our most high expression of love and light into this world. And we light this world up in a way that many of us probably can't even imagine. So that's my show for the day. Subscribe, like the video, share it with a friend. Think about what I'm saying. And you might want to exercise some of these realities, because if you choose not to, then stay scared and watch it play out around you, or step into the stream of this consciousness and put your effect down, that when it all settles down, you've created something based on what God put in your heart. That's what I'm talking about. One love, fam. All roads lead back to spirit. So see you soon.